No bigger race at Aqueduct than the Wood Memorial, our big Kentucky Derby prep coming up this Saturday afternoon. It's a very, very exciting race, and a number of horses looking to stamp themselves as big-time players for the Kentucky Derby in just a month's time. There's the field. You're taking a look at him. Battalion Runner, a slight favorite over Cloud Computing. Todd Pletcher against Chad Brown. You've got Irish War Cry, Motown, the winner of the Remsen. Everybody's in here, but let's start the conversation with Battalion Runner, Todd Pletcher's runner in this race. One thing about Todd Pletcher, he knows how to win Triple Crown preps. It's really amazing what his record. People seem to harp on the fact that he's had limited success in the Derby, though he does have the one win with Super Saver. But they'll do it at the expense of forgetting that nobody ever has known how to win these Triple Crown preps like Todd Pletcher. It's amazing. And I've made mistakes in the past of underrating his horses into races like the Wood Memorial, as I did last year with Outwork. I won't do it again with Battalion Runner. I'm not his biggest fan. I like the horse he beat last time in Beasley, who came back with a fair effort in the Tampa Bay Derby, but not that good an effort. And I wonder how good is Battalion Runner. We only saw him 2 times down in Florida. They were good races, but he's going to need a good effort to win here. I think he is the second likeliest winner. I will use him on my tickets, but he is not my top selection. The horse that I'm most interested in this race is Cloud Computing, the number 7. Cloud Computing was incredible in his last race in the Gotham. It was his second career start. It was 3 weeks after breaking his maiden at 6 furlongs. He forced the fast pace coming out of the gate. He chased the fast pace down the backstretch, while J-Boy's Echo, who's a very good horse and a major player in the Bluegrass on Saturday, when J-Boy's Echo was sitting comfortably back, well back in there, Cloud Computing was aggressively making a move into the pace. And while J-Boy's Echo beat him, it's not like he beat him decisively, and Cloud Computing never gave up and finished almost 8 lengths ahead of a badly beaten El Arib, who was on the pace. Cloud Computing is a quickly improving, extremely talented horse. The only question with him is if he's being asked to do too much too quickly. Well, I think he's being asked to do just enough to win this Wood Memorial. We don't have to worry about the Derby yet. This Wood Memorial, I think, is Cloud Computing's race to lose. But Irish War Cry is looking for redemption. His race in the Holy Bull in the beginning of February was outstanding. He easily dominated, among others, Gunnevera, who came back and won the Fountain of Youth, but he also beat Classic Empire, the reigning 2-year-old champ. Now, Classic Empire has sort of had his stops and starts on this Triple Crown trail. Gunnevera came back with a big win. The thing is, Gunnevera was trying to overcome a slow pace or a moderate pace set by Irish War Cry, and he had everything his own way. When he was forced to chase in his next start in the Fountain of Youth, he was nowhere near the same horse. So who is the real Irish War Cry? Well, there's no dearth of pace in here. You know Battalion Runner's going to go. True Timber has speed. Stretches Stone has speed. So I don't think he's going to have an easy time on the front end. This is a real acid test for Irish War Cry. He's not my top choice. He's my 4th choice in here. But I do know he has a good race to win this. I just don't know if he's good enough to do it under less than very good circumstances. We'll find out more about him in the Wood Memorial, and frankly, that's what the Triple Crown preps are supposed to be about. And you can say the same thing for Motown. Motown was all the rage after his big win in the Remsen last year. He got a good trip that day, but he was a decisive winner, winning on this Aqueduct track by over 2 lengths, so he's got that in his favor. A couple of problems. The biggest problem is he came back for his one race, the 3-year-old in the Risen Star at Fairgrounds, and he stunk the joint up. He chased the pace that collapsed, and he had absolutely no run whatsoever. The old he didn't like the racetrack excuse never works for me. Doesn't mean I'm going to be right, but I don't believe in that kind of stuff. And the other problem is that all the horses out of the Remsen have been coming back with subpar efforts. The Remsen's just not looking like that strong a race. Trainer Tony Dutrow is trying to get his 2017 back on track, and for his sake, I hope he does it with Motown, but he's not doing it with my money on him. The long shot in this race I think you want to take a look at is the 6, Stretches Stone, for trainer Bruce Levine. This is a talented runner. They're asking him, like Cloud Computing, to do a lot in a short time, but which one of these horses has an extensive resume? They've all only run a few times. And while Stretches Stone will finish second in this race behind Mr. Buff, he was placed first, and he would have won this race, I think. Mr. Buff comes out in a very key moment. He bumps into him. And Stretches Stone really ran well here. Aggressively ridden from an outside post, forced to drop back, came again, trying 2 turns for the first time. Mr. Buff came back and legitimized this effort with a very nice win here Sunday at Aqueduct, where he improved his Beyer figure 2 points. Stretches Stone is okay. Do I think he's good enough to win? I don't know about that, but he's good enough to get a piece at a big price in here. My top choice is cloud computing over Battalion Runner and Stretches Stone. Keep in mind, the bankroll builder continues on Naira Bets. You bet $50 or more to win on any horse in the Wood Memorial, and you will get $25 back to use as a bankroll for Kentucky Derby weekend. That will come into your account on the Friday of Kentucky Derby weekend. Bet 50, get 25 back on your bankroll builder. And we also want to make sure you know you can watch all of our big races here on the first Fox Sports 2 show. Aqueduct Live, 3 to 5:30. That'll cover the Bayshore, the Excelsior, as well as the Grade 1 Carter, the race before the Wood Memorial. That's 2.5 hours of action from the Big A. And also, the Wood Memorial itself will be on NBC. 5:30 to 7:30, NBC will be covering the Wood, the Bluegrass, and the Santa Anita Derby. Our post is 5:50. Don't miss the Wood Memorial. Don't miss any of the action on Saturday. We'll be on Fox Sports 2 from 3 to 5:30. A very exciting, a very interesting, and compelling Wood Memorial coming up very soon.